If you were never supposed if you were at some other place, you would sit there. But in church, ain't nobody control me. I can do what I want to do. But you can't do what you want to do. This is the Lord's house. Oh, let's go back to see what Jacob said. He said, I came to this place and I went to sleep and I stayed here all night. When I woke up in the morning, I was in this strange place. It was the house of the Lord and I didn't know it. Many of us sit right here and don't even know that this is the house of the Lord and don't even believe what the preacher is saying. Somebody, you know what? If they keep the chain up, I'll just go to another church. Bye. And it would have been so bad if it had been a lay person. It would have been so bad if it had been a lay person. Well, he was a lay person. And not a leadership person. It would have been so bad if it would not have been somebody in leadership. Like deacons or trustees. I wouldn't go for it. Now, if the chain up there is going to stop you from worshiping, and you're going to go look for another church, bye-bye. I'll be just as happy to see you go as they will see Bush League worship. He said, go and baptize them. And he said, teach them. Come on back. Teach them. Verse 12. Verse 3. What? Teach them to do what? To observe all things. Whatsoever I have commanded you. Stop it. He said, this ain't sharp this morning. All right. I wrote like this, and I thought you would do so. You preach moving. I am moving. It said, teach them to observe what? All things. All things. Now, what is about all that you don't understand? What is about all that is left out of this book? He said three things in that. He says, go ye therefore, and evangelize. That's what we are about. Evangelize. Yes, that's right. That's the first thing. We're about evangelizing. We're about saving souls. How many unsaved souls did you bring? When was the last time you invited somebody that was unsaved to church? How many? There are some folks in my house who are unsaved. And there are some folks in your house who are unsaved. Now we are worried about a change and ain't worried about those in our house who are unsaved. We are worried about that chain across the back, and there are some folks on their way to hell You know what the third thing is? Hold it for you. 2 Timothy. 1 Timothy 3:15. Mine say amen. Now, what it says?
But if I tarry long, that thou mayest know how thou oughtest to behave thyself in the house of God, which is the church of the living God, the pillar and ground of the truth.
It says, I don't want to tarry long, but I need to stay here long enough. That's what Paul said to the church. I need to stay here long enough. So you ought to know how to behave yourself in the house of God. You know, some folks don't know how to behave in the church. That's what it says. We do not know how to behave in church. We chew chewing gum.
Yes, sir.
We read notes.
Yes, sir.
We pass notes. We get up. Now, let's go back. If you want to get up and walk, it is so embarrassing when I have a guest preacher and you come in late for service. You're already late. And you get up and walk down the aisle.
Yeah.
Stop halfway looking for a seat. And then you pass somebody and reach over and high child. And the preacher is trying to preach.
Yes, sir.
And you are making a conversation while the preacher is trying to preach.
Yeah.
And then come all the way down to the front. Curtis said, if you're late, take a seat in the back.
Yeah, that's right.
It says here, but I'm doing this morning because you ought to know how to behave yourself in the what? Which is the Lord's house. It is the pillar of what? Have I been saying anything that is true?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now what you mad about? If it's the truth, and I'm teaching it, well, who's supposed to teach it? Who's going to teach it?
Romans 10:14. How shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a teacher? Said. All right.
I am charged by the power of God to teach you what is right.
Yes, sir. All right. Yes, sir.
I am charged. I am Lord. And the Bible says, woe unto me if I don't. I'll be damned. That's what the book said. They out of school. The book said, I will be damned if I do not preach this gospel. That's what the book said. I didn't say that. Now, Jeremiah 3:15 says, what? I will give you what? Pastors, not preachers. Pastor. I am the pastor. But I'm some of you. I'm some of you pastor. Tell your pastor, get. If I hang around another 20 years, when I leave, they will come up. But that's another thing. President Obama was trying to talk to you. Yes, sir. called me. They elected me. And I am the one that leads. I didn't call Sylvester to the church. The Lord will give you the call. And I will give you pastor after my own heart shall do what? Teach you and feed you. Church, we have got to realize that there are some rules that we have to follow. Well, I know you didn't get your praise on this long. You got the word. But let's take all of them out. Take every one of them out and set them out there. And then take as many members out there. And tell them to sing. That's the folk out there can sing. That's the folk out there know the song. So just take all of these out and put them out there, and then take those out there and put them up there, and he didn't tell a big old sing. What kind of mess would that get? You talking about a mess? Require long rehearsal. Repetition. You got to go over the same song over and over and over and over and over again. And guess what? If the preacher preached the same Sunday, well, I heard that last. But if the choir sang the song last Sunday, the Holy Ghost get up in there singing with a new spirit and a new and we will feel good about it, huh? Why is it not when you hear the truth and you shall know the truth and the truth will set you free? He asked people to respect the invitation. We ask folk to respect the invitation. That we are inviting somebody to accept the Lord.